Welcome back to my channel, DSC Tribe. If you're new here, welcome to the family. And make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap that little notification bell. That'll let you know every time I make a new video. So today's video is going to be... Okay. So for today's video, I'm going to read another article. I will, as usual, make sure to leave a link to the article so you can do your own follow-up and research as well. So this article was in the Military Times on November 1st in 2013. New FDA warnings on Cipro may tie into... During the 1990-91 Persian Gulf War, then Navy Corpsman David Ridenour often browbeat troops in 1st Battalion, 5th Marines to take their medications. The anti-nerve agent pyridostigmine bromide and another pill new to the market to prevent anthrax. Ridenour took them, and while he doesn't completely blame his Gulf War illness symptoms on the drugs, he was interested to learn that last summer, the Food and Drug Administration toughened its warnings for ciprofloxacin, or Cipro, saying the potent antibiotic can cause severe and sometimes permanent nerve damage. Ridenour has that damage, known as peripheral neuropathy, which manifests as tingling and numbness in his limbs. They told us to start taking the Cipro, and I didn't know what it was for, he said, but I clearly remember being told it was to prevent anthrax. Until then, as far as I knew, anthrax was a sheep disease. It's been well documented that the Defense Department stockpiled 30 million doses of Cipro during the Gulf War, and 150,000 troops received anthrax vaccines to prevent infection. But less well known is that during Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm, some troops actually took Cipro in anticipation of an anthrax attack. According to Marine Corps documents, members of one Marine Expeditionary Force near Jubal, Sakai Isa, and Bahrain International Airport, and elsewhere took Cipro for a week or more as a prophylactic, although it was not approved to prevent or treat anthrax. That approval from the FDA wouldn't come for 9 more years. What gives me nightmares at night is that I feel like I helped poison the guys in my unit, Ridenour said in a recent interview with Military Times. Powerful antibiotics. Cipro and other fluoroquinolones, including Levaquin, Avalox, and other medications with flox in their names, are powerful antimicrobials used to treat serious bacterial infections. But along with potency comes a litany of precautions, warnings, and side effects. Information that service members and their families should consider when they are prescribed these medications or when they request them to treat routine infections. In 2008, the FDA added a box warning, its most serious alert, to fluoroquinolones, noting that they can cause tendinitis and tendon rupture in 2011, the agency added a second box warning, saying the medications can worsen the symptoms of myasthenia gravis. And while the most recent warning for peripheral neuropathy is not the most severe alert, it is alarming. According to the FDA, nerve damage may occur soon after these drugs are taken and may become permanent, and is unrelated to dosage levels. In my instance, I felt the moment one of the infusions went into my arm, and is still damaged to this day. Still bothers me severely to this day. And that's where the injection was, where my oh my god. Where my injection site is, whatever. The warning applies to oral medications as well as those delivered by injection. The onset of peripheral neuropathy after starting fluoroquinolone therapy was rapid, often within a few days. In some patients, the symptoms had been ongoing for more than a year despite discontinuation of the fluoroquinolone, according to the FDA. And according to myself, that's true. It's been just a little less than 4 years ago since I stopped taking it, and I'm still having issues that are presenting themselves. In 2011, 23 million patients received prescriptions in the U.S. for Cipro and other fluoroquinolones, including 294,069 prescriptions dispensed at Defense Department facilities. From 2009 to 2012, a total of 1.2 million prescriptions for fluoroquinolones were distributed at military treatment facilities. Guinea pigs. Cipro has a long history of use in the U.S. military, dating to at least 1989, when it was tested on soldiers in Egypt for travelers' diarrhea. It was again widely used in the Persian Gulf War, although the number of those who actually took it is not well documented. Former troops who wrote Military Times said they took white pills that they later figured out were Cipro when the drug became more widely recognized and distributed. I'm one of those Marine combat veteran guinea pigs who took those pills, one former service member wrote. I'm 100% service connected, VA disability, because of the toxic soup we were exposed to and those damn pills. Biological warfare expert and retired Marine General Walter Boomer, who led 1 MEF during the Gulf War, said precautions were taken because the threat of an anthrax attack was legitimate. By September 1990, Iraq had achieved industrial-scale production of anthrax and had stockpiled 30 tons of the medium needed to grow more and had shown no reservations about launching chemical attacks on its own people. We viewed anthrax with as much seriousness as their potential to use chemical weapons. I was presented by U.S. Central Command with these options that if we were attacked, it would prevent an outbreak. So with that information, it was a fairly simple decision, Boomer said. Scientists have spent years trying to determine what may have caused 250,000 Gulf War veterans to develop multiple and often debilitating symptoms after the war. Because symptoms are varied and troops were exposed to a variety of environmental hazards, from oil well fires, pesticides, vaccinations, medications, and possibly nerve agents, researchers say it will be difficult to pinpoint a cause. I'd like to interject here with my thoughts. Considering that it is identical to being fluxed, every symptom and every issue are identical, adding in all these other factors and environmental hazards is only going to intensify the floxing that's being done. So even if those things didn't do their own damage, they certainly helped the Cipro do its damage. But Reidenauer thinks the recent FDA warning may explain some of his symptoms. It clearly says peripheral neuropathy, and that's what I have, he said. In 2000, the FDA approved Cipro to prevent inhalation anthrax after possible exposure, the first antibiotic approved as a treatment in the event of a biowarfare attack. During the 2001 anthrax attacks, thousands of workers at the U.S. Postal Service, the White House, the U.S. Capitol, and elsewhere took Cipro. The Department of Health and Human Services requested enough to provide 12 million people with doses for 60 days. While Cipro and other fluoroquinolones are widely prescribed, their use has leveled off since 2002. Within DoD, prescriptions for fluoroquinolones actually are waning, down 14% since 2009, according to Pentagon data. So that is the article. And again, I just kind of want to say how I believe that when you put the symptoms side by side and you compare, you've got the same thing happening to them as what's happened to myself and millions of others. So the frustrating part about it is knowing that they've known the damage it could cause for so long and just continue to allow it to happen. One of my nurses that had been coming and helping me with my wound care, when I spoke to her about this, she was surprised. She didn't know that it was that bad. She knew it was bad, but didn't know it was that bad. And she went home and did her own research, and I saw her again, and she was just telling me how scared for people she was, and how many of the people that she's been seeing and working with are suffering these symptoms and don't even know it. I mean, I didn't figure mine out for over a year after I first stopped taking it. It took that long just to figure it out. I mean, and many people don't even know, have no clue. And when your doctor's telling you something's safe when it's really not, and you are going home and believing them, and you continue to take something that you shouldn't, the damage is already done. It's like, I'm getting really tired of the, incompetence, and then just after it's all done, just being like, oops, sorry, didn't know. Well, sorry's not good enough. Like, perfect for instance, I just had this surgery done, and I saw the doctor on Friday, and I told him, I said, the only thing about this entire process that I haven't agreed with or I don't appreciate is the fact that I haven't had my pain taken care of yet. I have been on the same pain medication now for almost 4 years, and my body's used to it by now, and they sent me home with nothing extra. And I still have yet to get back to where I was prior to my surgery. And I told the doctor this, and I discussed how difficult it is as a pain patient to try to ask for pain medication because we are drug seeking, and that's not right. It's not right. And he looked through his notes and he saw that I did what I was supposed to do. I told them, and the on-call nurses called numerous times, and all he said was, "We really dropped the ball. I'm really sorry about that." That's it. Okay? Thanks. That doesn't help me then, and it sure as fuck doesn't help me now. But anyway, I'm just getting really tired of the incompetence in our medical community. And just want to remind all of you people that out there that it is our job to be our own advocate. We have to take care of ourselves and take care of each other. That's what my channel is here for. I want us to help each other out, take care of each other, and not keep allowing these things to keep happening to us. So I'm going to end this video here, and I would like to just leave you with the fact that I want you to all know that you are loved and we're in this together. So keep your heads up and look for part 2 of this video where I will discuss more about the comparisons of the two, of Gulf War Syndrome and fluoroquinolone toxicity. But for now, that's all. I'm going to let you guys go. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I appreciate you coming to watch my video. If you like this video, please make sure you like, and if you aren't already, please subscribe and tap the little notification bell. That'll let you know every time I make a new video, and I will see you next time.